The Grandmaster smirks as his brother announces he has a new game. He entertains the idea. Tavon holds the 7 crystals of the M'Kraan crystal and explains that if the heroes can depower it, they win, and Earth will be saved. The Grandmaster rebuttals, saying that if his squadron stops them, he wins and Earth shall be destroyed. The heroes look at each other, and Valeria questions how do they know that they can trust the Grandmaster's word, as he just rigged the game to kill Jubilee. And the Grandmaster rebuttals, saying that he will give his team their own army to fight with, as the heroes will have the same. Franklin speaks to Tavon, asking why he is doing this, and Tavon looks at the lifeless bodies of Jubilee and Howard, as he explains that for centuries he has seen good people die, and he never had the power to stop it. At least with Earth, he can attempt to change their fate. The Grandmaster accepts the challenge. The rules are simple. The heroes must find a way to depower the full M'Kraan crystal, while holding off the Squadron Supreme and their army. Should the heroes bring the crystal back together and depower it, the Earth will be saved. If the squadron stops them, Earth will be destroyed. The Grandmaster brings up a map of Earth and allows the collector to pick where the game will take place, and after a moment, he picks Wakanda. Azari and Asha are confused until Tavon explains that Wakanda has the best technology that could possibly protect the crystal. The Grandmaster then waves his hands and all the heroes are sent away to the Wakandan throne room. The heroes look around wondering what they will do, until Captain America speaks. She explains that they will only be able to save the world if they comply with the game. Andromeda repuddles, saying that none of them know how to depower the crystal. Then Valeria chimes in, explaining that thanks to Jubilee, they have what they need to depower it. Everyone is confused as Valeria begins to explain that the M'Kraan crystal is one of the most powerful and dangerous cosmic objects in the universe, which means that they will need people who are able to be on par with that power. Valeria looks to her brother Franklin, as he is one of the most powerful mutants left in the world. His abilities will allow him to be a power source and would directly counter the reality warping capabilities of the crystal. She then turns to Dr. Voodoo, as the crystal is connected to mystical planes, and Voodoo's knowledge would allow them to mystically contain and seal the crystal. Then she turns to Galacta, as she is the daughter of Galactus. Her power cosmic will allow her to manipulate the crystal and cause a form of interdimensional buffer to the crystal's power. She then turns to Rachel, as she learned that Rachel is the daughter of Jean Grey, the former host of the Phoenix Force, and knows that some of the power resides in Rachel, which would allow her to telepathy form as an influence to keep the crystal calm. Then Franklin looks to Valeria and explains that she is the smartest person in the world. She would create a device that would be able to take the power away from the crystal. Then Captain America commands the room and explains the plan. Valeria, Franklin, Rachel, Dr. Voodoo, and Galacta would depower the crystal while the rest of them hold off the coming attack. The heroes prepare as they, Wakandans, Asgardians, and Atlanteans arrive to prepare for war. Captain America tasks Silk, Polaris, Stingray, Hawkeye, and Red Widow to stay behind and defend the team in case any enemy forces get close. They agree, and the others go out to the open field where the Wakandan barrier stands in the way of the heroes and their enemies. A big boom is heard in the sky as the Grandmaster says that the game will begin in 1 minute. Bill and Sif hold each other as Sif is getting used to her new magic arm, courtesy of Jennifer Kale, and the two kiss as they know that this will be the fight of their lives. The X-Men look towards each other and are ready to avenge their fallen friend, Jubilee. Captain America and Black Panther stand in front of the army when they see 3 figures walk towards the barrier from the outside. It is Hyperion, Nighthawk, and Power Princess. Nighthawk scans the barrier and tells Power Princess to release them. Power Princess raises her mace and a roar is heard from a distance. The Grandmaster says, "Let the final game begin." Just then, the squadron's army emerge as an army of the Brood, Chitauri, and Dire Wraiths charge toward the barrier. Some of the Brood are able to make through the barrier. The heroes are able to hold off the army until Hyperion begins to charge at the barrier, slowly knocking it down, until he is able to hit it hard enough to bring it down entirely. Hyperion hovers in the air as Nighthawk and Power Princess walk with the army through the barrier. The heroes look with concern as Captain America screams into the air, "Avengers assemble." The Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and their army charge as once they meet with the enemy and begin a massive fight, the heroes being able to hold the line. Hyperion looks around to find Bill, and he charges towards him, wanting to finish his fight from before. Bill gets tackled by Hyperion, and they take their fight to the sky, and Hyperion is able to hold down Bill until Blue Marvel, Venom, and Rom help Bill, and the four take on Hyperion. Power Princess goes against Sif, Water Snake, and Wolverine, as Nighthawk faces off against Captain America and Black Panther. In the throne room, Valeria does a scan of the crystal, while Voodoo creates a mystical shield around the room. Valeria explains that with the help of Galactus, she will be able to identify weak points in the crystal that are classified as energy spikes, where they are, in a way, metaphysical knots, in order to depower them if they need to run it, like fixing a cosmic radio station. Valeria designs a containment array made of hard light projections and mystic anchor points powered by herself and Voodoo. Voodoo activates mystic sigils at temporal nodes, grounding the crystal within the current plane, keeping it from collapsing their reality or others. Rachel telepathically links herself, Franklin, and Galactus to the crystal, forming a psionic buffer that limits emotional or subconscious influence on the crystal as it responds to thought, fear, and chaos. Valeria isolates any lingering echoes of the Phoenix Force embedded in the crystal's essence using Rachel's readings. Franklin reshapes the unstable energy flows from within, rewriting the crystal's functions on a multiversal subroutine level, but only under Valeria's algorithmic constraints. This begins to shake the crystal. On the Collector's ship, Tavon smirks as he sees the heroes are working fast while also holding off his brother's army. The Grandmaster is visibly angry as he sees that there is a chance he will lose, so he pushes his daughter and Dr. Spectrum into the battle. Voyager has herself and Spectrum invisible so no one can see them, and are about to make their way to the throne room until a giant metal bar is thrown, knocking them both back. The two are confused as Polaris and Silk arrive and stand their ground. Along comes Stingray, Hawkeye, and Red Widow as they are ready to fight their enemies. The Collector sees this and grows tired of his brother's interventions, and the two elders begin to have a fight of their own. In the battlefield, Hyperion is getting thrown around by Blue Marvel and Rom as Venom is attempting to use his tendrils to hold him down. Eddie asks why they thought they could handle this fight, and Venom simply yells that because they are the lethal protector. Power Princess breaks Wolverine's leg and is able to bash her head in when Thor Girl sends Mjolnir, knocking her back as Beak and Juggernaut tag team her into the floor. In the throne room, Valeria keeps track of her brother's reality warping interface as she builds reality rails to keep him from losing control and unintentionally destabilizing anything. Once the crystal has been stabilized, Valeria attempts to coordinate a temporary detachment of the crystal's power, but gets distracted as an energy signature is disturbing the throne room. The group are confused until they see Voyager is breaking down the spell. They look concerned as she is able to break into the throne room as Dr. Spectrum is taken down by the guard team. Franklin attempts to plead with her but fails as she explains that this is how it needs to be. Galacta charges at Voyager and the two fight. Franklin looks at Valeria and she tells him to go. He nods and flies up into the air to stop Voyager and Galacta. On the battlefield, Hyperion uses his supervision to see that the crystal is wide open, so he shoots laser beams at the ground, which distracts Bill, Blue Marvel, and Rom. Hyperion launches himself to the throne room and is about to grab the crystal when Rachel uses her powers to push him back. Hyperion chuckles until he feels his head pound as Esme is going into his mind to see that the squadron are from another universe, and they were selected by the Grandmaster to be his personal weapons, and they agreed. Hyperion breaks free of the illusion and grabs Esme by the throat, choking her. Rachel sees this and tries to get up, but Esme speaks to her telepathically, thanking her for being a new sister. Hyperion snaps Esme's neck, killing her, and Rachel loses control as the Phoenix in her takes control and she charges at Hyperion, beating him to a pulp. The whole battlefield shakes as they see the Phoenix take her fight with Hyperion. Power Princess rips the sword out of Sif's hand is about to stab her when Bill comes from ahead and tackles Power Princess, saving Sif's life, but sees that something is wrong as Power Princess was able to get a good stab at Bill, injuring him. He begins to bleed but is able to fight well against Power Princess. However, this fight would be different against Hyperion, as Power Princess was a strategist. Nighthawk is able to calculate where Captain America's attacks come from and nearly kills her when Water Snake comes from behind and is able to hold him off. Andromeda sees this and goes to help until she notices that Nighthawk has a bomb in his bag that is about to go off. Water Snake gets Nighthawk to the ground and is about to kill him when he sends the bomb toward her, but Andromeda moves her out of the way, feeling the impact of the bomb for herself. Water Snake sees this and goes to Andromeda as she witnesses her death. Azari sees this and becomes upset, so he charges at Nighthawk and hits him with an electric blast that comes into contact with another bomb that Nighthawk was able to throw, leading to Nighthawk getting caught in the blast, killing him in the process. Water Snake holds her fellow Atlantean tightly as Master comes from behind and looks at the body of someone he once thought as an enemy, but then saw as a friend. The Collector and Grandmaster's fight ends with Tavon taking his brother's staff and nearly killing him, but he doesn't, as he knows that the universe needs them both. Tavon declares that after today, the contest shall be no more, and the Grandmaster concedes. In the skies, Franklin and Galacta continue to fight Voyager. However, she stops as she feels that no matter what, her father has lost. Voyager looks to the humans and says she apologizes for all the pain her father caused as she flies into the sky away. Franklin and Galacta arrive back to the throne room, where Valeria is able to stabilize the crystal, then coordinates the temporary detachment, rerouting its excess flow into a quantum containment fold that is housed inside Galacta's internal storage dimension, or as Gwenpool would call it, a stomach pocket universe. Rachel, as the Phoenix, unleashes her powers on Hyperion and is barely able to register what is happening until he's on the ground and Rachel unleashes one final blast that eradicates Hyperion's body. Lady Sif wakes up to see her husband on the floor as Power Princess gloats on how in her universe she killed every single Corp Knight and is reveling in killing its champion. Bill speaks to her with a low voice, saying that she will never expect when her time comes. He grabs her by the leg and smashes her on the ground multiple times and sees Sif run toward him. So he spins Power Princess around and launches her towards Sif, and Sif jumps in the air perfectly, slicing Power Princess's body in half, killing her. Sif sighs of relief until she looks at her husband. The amount of punches he took from Hyperion to being stabbed in the heart by Power Princess. Beta Ray Bill falls to the ground, and Sif holds him closely, crying as she watches the life of her husband fade away. Bill looks to her and tells her that he would not change a single thing in his life if it meant dying in battle, protecting his people, and more importantly, the woman he loves. Bill closes his eyes as he dies in Sif's arms, with his hammer, Stormbreaker, creating an enchantment of its own. Whosoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Beta Ray Bill. The Collector arrives in Wakanda and takes the now depowered M'Kraan crystal and places it into his collection. Franklin speaks to Devon and says if Earth is worth saving, and asks if Earth is worth saving. It was almost destroyed in the Ultron Revolution and nearly now in the Contest of Champions. Tavon merely speaks that in all his time of existence, he has seen worlds rise and fall, but has always been fascinated by Earth, its culture, its resilience. The good that has come from Earth will always outweigh the darkness. A funeral is held for Howard the Duck, Jubilee, Andromeda, Esme Kukos, and Beta Ray Bill, as a memorial is made with the line, these heroes who sacrificed their lives to save this world. So time now passes. Heroes remember the lives that were lost, but they never forget the impact they had. In Atlantis, Crab King is made the new king of Atlantis. The Guardians remember their fallen comrade in a classic drink and cigar. A gravestone is made for Esme and Jubilee as the X-Men look forward for the future. And on New Corbin, the Avengers and Guardians help build a statue to remember the life that was of Beta Ray Bill. This universe has had new heroes rise and enemies fall, new lights and new darkness. But the resilience of the people are what make it unique, and that is why this universe is made into something more. From a shred of darkness, there will always be a new hope.